You guys both look awesome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
What do you think about him? He's cool?
Oh, very cool. Cool guy.
Deanna ate your salad. It's okay. And eating her later.
I'm gonna be right there in the corner.
You had told them. Now I had picked that already.
Okay.
Is that one that you got for yourself? No.
What do you mean? They got it all from Tiana.
Crosses.
What kind of questions did they ask?
Good ones. Put it on his heart. Love here.
That's the breast pose I've seen.
Okay, and look at
That's the breast post I've seen.
there. That's the beautiful smile I knew you were.
Tell them about Subway.
Oh my.
Subway?
Like it's very.
You might think it's Michael Strahan, but I'm the best ambassador Subway has. I eat Subway every night.
Good for
I
you.
get a turkey salad. I got my own dressing and my own eggs and my own fruit at home to put on top of it. Unless she's there. Then we got to go out to the 5-star restaurant.
Hey, expect them to join them. I'm not like that.
You know, like what?
Like stuff.
Well, tell them where we eat. Michael's,
I
the
don't know
9.
Michael's.
Huh?
Well, years ago, I saw you
That
at
don't
Art
make you a bad person because you like good food.
No, but I'm not Subway. That's me and Ashton.
She don't like Subway. So anybody that thought about us doing a Subway commercial, that's out now. It's out the window.
No. I didn't say I don't like Subway, but I don't like to fly to go eat Subway.
I agree.
Fly to Vegas to go eat Subway.
And I drive home, I don't fly home. You see what I gotta put up with, guys? You don't understand that, do you?
Pete suffer.
Yeah. That's good, that's good.
Grew up in Cincinnati, watching you guys
Good for
play
you.
the Big Red Machine.
You went to high school where?
Wyoming.
Wyoming Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right.
I know my stuff.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit
I
about...
went to Western Hills High School. We used to
That's
kick
right,
their ass
that's
in
right.
baseball. I don't know about football, but baseball we
There
beat
you
you.
go. Can you talk a little bit about, do you still have ties to the community?
Yeah, I went to about 12 games last year. I'm going to opening day this year. They're playing the Angels.
Okay.
And, you know, one of my favorite players is Joey Votto. And I love Mr. Castellini, who owns the team. You know why I love him? Because he hates to lose. Every owner should hate to lose. And the Reds got a good team. They got a little disappointing losing that playoff last year, but they lost to the team and won the World Series. You just didn't expect them to go 3 in a row at home, but they're going up 2-0 in San Francisco. But it happens. It happens. Nothing you do about it. She goes to the games. We go to Philadelphia games because I play for the Phillies too. That's another owner. He hates to lose too. I like passionate owners. You know, not these guys that are corporate and they're just worried about having a tie on and stuff like that. You know, when the Reds lose, Mr. Castellini goes to his car, don't even say goodbye to anybody. I'm surprised he don't get caught speeding going home.
Now, as a guy who, you know, didn't play during what we now call the steroid era, does it hurt you that, you know, this
No,
kind
nothing
of all
really.
over baseball now?
Nothing hurts me about steroids. You know, I was a little sad that nobody made the Hall of Fame yesterday. You know, because we know 2 guys in Cooperstown that own businesses. And the week, Hall of Fame week, they survived for a year on Hall of Fame week. And I just wonder what's going to happen to those guys now. I know they got 3 guys going in, but they're all 3 deceased. I mean, who's going to give their speech? I mean, I might have to practice that sometime. I might have to write that some bitch for somebody to read. I mean, maybe she'll read it up there. But, you know, I mean, all the guys linked to steroids, you have to understand one thing about it, that they're all friends of mine. And I'm not here to badmouth anybody. I mean, there were a lot of great players on that list yesterday. And I'm very surprised that Craig Biggio didn't make the Hall of Fame because he got 3,000 hits. It's the first time 3,000 hit guy didn't make the Hall of Fame since 1945. think Hitler was still around at 45. That's how long ago that was. And another guy that I thought would get a lot of consideration yesterday was Tommy's godson, Mike Piazza. Because personally, statistic-wise, he's the greatest offensive catcher in the history of baseball. He's got all the stats. And I played with Bench, who's the greatest catcher ever. I played against Carlton Fisk, and I played with Gary Carter. So I played with 3 Hall of Fame catchers. And Mike is offensively better than any of those guys. So, but I'm not a voter. I'm not a voter, so I don't really know what's through their mind. But there was a lot of perception when they voted. And I could just tell the last week what the writers were trying to do. Because everybody was on ESPN or on the other shows. We're all saying, well, I don't know if anybody's going to go in. And one guy says, I'm only going to vote for Jack Morris. You know, and another guy says, well, I'm not going to vote for this guy because it's his first year on the ballot. And Joe DiMaggio didn't get the first year. Well, Joe DiMaggio died a long time ago. So, but there again, it's I'm not here to change the system. I wouldn't know how to change the system. Now next year, we'll have no problem because you got Maddox on the ballot, you got Frank Thomas on the ballot, you got Jeff Kent, who's got all the records for a second baseman, and you got Glavine, and you got Pedro Martinez. So you got a lot of guys on that ballot next year. And what will happen probably, that will hurt Biggio and Piazza next year. See, because the way these guys do it, they look at the ballot and the names on it. And whoever's the biggest name, they put them in. And they'll say, well, nobody's going to be on next year. We'll save this guy for next year. See, I never did quite understand why baseball would ever worry if 8 guys are voted in the Hall of Fame. Who cares? Football don't care. It seems like baseball always wants 1 or 2 guys, then they'll have somebody from the writer's wing. You know, so I never figured that out. Because here's how it works, and you people don't know this probably, but you get a Hall of Fame ballot, okay? And there's 10 spaces here. Okay, we can put your name here, and Kiana's name here, and my name here, and Dan Goose's name here. We each get one point. One point. Okay? There never has been and never will be when there's more than 10 deserving going in the Hall of Fame. And if there was, who gives a damn? If they're Hall of Famers, see, I got my own philosophy on that, that I think if you don't make the Hall of Fame the first year you're eligible, you shouldn't make it. You don't get any better, right? I mean, Phil Rizzuto had to wait 35 years. Think of the suffering he did. My teammate, the best RBI guy I've ever seen, Tony Perez, had to wait 10. You know, Joe DiMaggio had to wait 2. No one's ever been 100%. Tell me how you can look in a mirror and not vote for Henry Aaron or Willie Mays or Stan Musial for the Hall of Fame. What are you thinking about? Well, I want to hear the guy say, oh, I didn't vote for Hank Aaron because. Because why? The guy's got 755 home runs, 306 lifetime batting average, and 2,200 RBIs. Golden Gloves, he's a great base runner. But I didn't vote for him. Why?
Well, a lot of times
One girl, this is funny, there's one lady, I think there's Dan, is there a couple ladies that vote for the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
One of them lives out here?
Yes.
She voted for Sean Kemp. Or is it Green? Sean Green. You know what she said? He was great for the Jewish community. Does that get him in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, a lot of times when his name is mentioned, people bring up Kurt Flood.
Kurt was great. Yeah. I'll tell you another guy should be in the Hall of Fame. One of the most important guys in the history of our sport as a player. And I think he died recently. Marvin Miller. He should have been in the Hall of Fame. He changed him and Kurt changed the whole way baseball was constructed financially. Marvin Miller was great. You know, he taught a guy named Donald Fear who just handled the hockey players.